فرحان كالظبيل للهلولة حط سلاح حطوم حيلة نضربوا شوفار الليلة.
With the permission of Hashem, today we're going to start to talk about the Tzimtzum. What it is the Tzimtzum? The Tzimtzum is attraction, contraction. That means when Hashem he wanted to create the world, there was nowhere where to create it, because Hashem he was everywhere. Where can you, when he can build his world? Because the Or Ein Sof, the light of Hashem, it's full. There was no place. I mean, it's very hard to understand. Everything you want to buy a building, well, you buy 1,000 meters or 2,000 meters. Wherever you go, there is a frontier, there is a border, there is always a limit. But Hashem is no limit. The sea has a limit. Even how much it can be deep, the sea has a limit. Everything, even to go from here to the sky, there is a limit. The Gemara said, how long it can take you to arrive to the Shamayim? Everything has a limit. But Hashem has no limit. So there was nowhere empty from the light of Hashem. So Hashem, he had to do contraction. I mean, he had to leave a space, an empty space, where Hashem can build there the world. And that's what Hashem he did. And once Hashem, he did the contraction, that means that how Hashem, he went around, he did like a circle. Why a circle? Why not another dimension? Circle, because the circle, it's that the light from Hashem cannot enter again to that empty circle. So Hashem, he made like a border, and that is empty space for Hashem, for that nothing from himself will enter to that empty space. And Hashem, he did something incredible. Hashem, he was watching how much from his light will enter that empty space, so where he can create the world. Because Hashem cannot create the world in an empty space if there is nothing from here to maintain what Hashem is going to create. Like me, I am David. If there is nothing from Hashem on me, I will not live. So that's why Hashem put a neshama on me. If there is no, look, there is one day the Rebbe Lubavitch, the Rashav, Alav Shalom, one day was talking to his Talmidim. He told them, you know, whatever Hashem creates, there is Hashem inside. So there was herring, fish on the table. He told them, you see that herring? If we can eat it, because it's not rotten, because there is Hashem inside. Once Hashem, he will get out from that herring, so that herring we cannot eat it anymore. That means anything that exists, there is Hashem inside. Once Hashem, he go out from that thing pass away, die. That means it's impossible that Hashem will create the world or a man in an empty space if there is nothing belong to him. That's what we say, kulam. You Hashem, you give life to everything, even to the Tum'ah, even to the Klippa. The Klippa is the Tum'ah, even to the Satan, Hashem will give him life. Why? Strahra. Why? Because if Hashem will not give him life, there will be no Strahra anymore. So the Satan, Hashem, you need the Satan, because the Satan push you to do bad things, and you fight with him. With what? With the Torah. You cannot say, Hashem, you give life to the Satan, and the Satan, the Strahra bother me. Hashem will answer you, but I give you the Torah. with that weapon, you can fight it. Why you didn't do it? So you have no answer for that. So Hashem, that's what he did. Now, when Hashem did that, when that construction decided, for what moment, what time, that contraction, it decided, Hashem decided to contract himself to build the world. So for that, there is no answer. I tell you why. There is no answer. Because at Hashem there is no time, there is no limit. But the Torah says Bereshit, in the beginning. What the beginning, when Hashem decided, no one knows. No one knows when Hashem decided. If you want to explain what the Torah said, what that means? At the moment that Hashem decided to create the world, that moment he contracted himself in 1 second. That's it. Because Hashem is no limit. Hashem is Hashem. I mean, me, David Pinto, if I want to create something, if I want to do something, if I want to write something, it takes me time. So now, since 3 hours I'm writing. 3 hours I'm writing. Why I couldn't write in 1 second? Because I am limited. Moshe Rabbeinu, he was illimited. Moshe Rabbeinu, in a few minutes, he writes 13 Sefer Torah. 13 Sefer Torah he writes. Why? Because Moshe was illimited. Because Hashem gave him koach to be illimited. But after I tell you why, there is something that here I discovered secrets, a lot of secrets. So now, when Hashem decided to create, to contract, to do this contraction, and to that, we don't know. But the Torah says Bereshit, bara Elokim. When Hashem decided, what time he decided, we don't know. Because Hashem, he did not create yet the time, and the days, and the years. So we don't know. Only after when Hashem decided to create the world, and decided to do Bereshit, Yom Rishon, Yom Sheni, Yom Shlishi, then Hashem created the day, the night, the moon, the sun, you understand? He started to, but before that we don't know. We don't know. We don't know what time. But one thing I want to tell you, I had a big question this morning. My question was, this is a fabulous question. Why Hashem he needed to do contraction? Why? Why Hashem he will not do a miracle? That Hashem will create the world inside himself. And the world will not burn. Why not? I give you the proof. If each one of us, he has a neshama. And the neshama, it's a part of Hashem. Yes or no? The neshama, it's a part of Hashem. So if the neshama, it's a part of Hashem, that neshama, don't burn me. You understand? The neshama don't burn me. If the neshama don't burn me, why Hashem will not create the world inside the Or Ein Sof, inside the illimited light? Why? And beside this, the Torah said, Vayetzer. Hashem, when he created the man, it said Vayetzer. Vayetzer, that means he created. The word Vayetzer, Vav, Yud, Yud, Tzer, Tzadeh, Resh. If you cut them in two parts, Vav, Yud, Yud. Vav, Yud is the name of Hashem. Vav, it's 6, Yud, it's 10, another Yud, it's 10. Because Vayetzer, it's Vav, Yud. That means Hashem, Tzar. Tzar is from the word Tzimtzum. That means even on Adam, when Hashem created Adam, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he contract himself. Can you imagine that? Think a little bit, think. Just imagine how many billions of neshamot there were inside Adam. And all those neshamot are the light from Hashem. And what was the dimension of Adam? Not so much. And all those lights, all those neshamot, they were inside Adam. It's impossible. It's like I take a bottle and I put in the bottle all the water of the ocean. It's impossible. To take all the water of all the seas, the ocean, the Mediterranean, you know, in one small bottle. It's impossible. That's what Hashem did. Hashem, he put all those neshamot from the beginning till the end on Adam. How he did? This is Tzimtzum, Vayetzer. Hashem, he contracted his limited light on Adam. So you don't see the value of this Tzimtzum. Something that you cannot imagine. And you know, I give you something that maybe you will understand. You know, today you can write a book, yes? Or you can write a resume. You resume the book. And you can understand. There is a show that I can tell you, a long show, a nice show of 2 hours, but I can tell you the same show, a resume on 15 minutes. That Hashem, he resumed. It's like all this unlimited light of Neshamot on the body of Adam Rishon. And can you imagine, Hashem, when he created Adam, he had a contact with his body, and the body of Adam, he did not burn. He did not burn. It was a big amount of light of Hashem that Hashem put on Adam Rishon. And Adam Rishon, he was alive. What that mean? That if Hashem, he want that if Hashem want to maintain the world without being burned, he can. So why Hashem, he did not create the world in his own light without doing the tzimtzum, without doing the contraction? He didn't need that. Look, Moshe Rabbeinu, he was in Shammai, yes or no? He was with his body, yes or no? He studied Torah of Hashem, yes or no? Did he burn? Tell me, he was a man. It was not a neshama. He was there with his body, yes or no? He was with his body, yes. He was there, he did not eat. He stayed there 3 times, 40 days and 40 nights. 120 days and 120 nights. And he did not burn. So why Hashem, he did not create the world on his own body? On himself. No, not body Hashem, on himself. Why? First question. Second, take Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov. The first letters of each name of the Avot. Now tell me. What's the first name of Abraham? Aleph. The first name of Yitzhak? Yud. The first name of Yaakov? No, Yud. Yaakov. Yeah. So Aleph, Yud, Yud. How much is it Aleph, Yud, Yud? 21. Yes? Aleph is 1, Yud, Yud. 21 is the name of Hashem. The name Ekyeh. Ekyeh. The name Ekyeh is one of the names of Hashem. Can you imagine the name of Hashem? It was on Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov. Can you imagine what's this? What's the name of Adam? Adam. Yes? Adam. Yes or no? How much is it Adam? Aleph, Dalet, Mem. How much is it altogether? 45. And there is the name of God, of Hashem, Yudke Vavke Bimul Alfin, it's 45. Adam is 45, the name of Hashem is 45. What the meaning? The meaning is that the name of Hashem, it was on Adam, and Adam was not burned. And Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, they had one of the biggest names of Hashem. Is the top name of Hashem is Yudke, is Ekyeh. Number 21, not 26, 21. And Hashem, and they lived through that name, and they never been burned. So why Hashem, he did that Tzimtzum, and he had to create 10 Sfirot. So the light of Hashem, it was going from the Ein Sof through the Sfirot, through the 10 Sfirot. Why we needed that? Good questions. Huh? My question is, why we needed the Tzimtzum? Why Hashem did that? Hashem, you can create the word inside you, inside your or, without doing the Tzimtzum. You will tell me, but if Hashem create the word inside him, the word will burn. Did Adam burn when Hashem put the Neshamot on him? No. Did Moshe Rabbeinu burn when he was in Shamayim? No. Did all those Malachim who live in the Shamayim burn? No. Did Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, that they have Yinika? You know what is Yinika? Yinika is like a baby who drinks the milk from the breast of his mother. They say Yinika. He lived through that. So Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, their Yinika was from the name of Hashem. Ekye. They did not burn. So why we need that Tzimtzum? So now, first, we don't know when the Tzimtzum started. That no one will tell you. No one. But the Torah said Bereshit. And the Kabbalah, they said, when Hashem decided to create the world, that Tzimtzum started. And that lasted second, second. It's not a big work. So my question now, it's about this Tzimtzum. Why we need it? And I was thinking something incredible. But because, before I tell you my answer, why did Hashem need to give to Adam Rishon a mitzvah? Why? Hey, Adam, don't eat from that tree. Why? Adam, he has no Yitzhara. Adam, he was the best creation of Hashem. All what Hashem did, it was for Adam. So why you have to give him a mitzvah? Adam, he will know, he will study Torah without having the idea, the notion to do mitzvot. Why mitzvah? And he gave him only one. He did not give him too many mitzvot. He gave him only one. So my question, why Hashem had to give him mitzvot? Why? What it is mitzvah? Tell me, what is a mitzvah? How you understand what it is mitzvah? Mitzvah is tzav. Tzav, that means an order. Hey, I am Hashem, you Andy, I give you an order. Do that. I'm your boss. I create you, you are, and I create you, and I put on you a neshama, so you belong to me. I can do out of you whatever I want. You belong to me, understand? Like this pen, belong to me. Like things here, belong to me. So you belong to me. I give you an order. Hashem, he gave a mitzvah to Adam Rishon. He wanted to teach him, hey Adam, so that you will not forget that you are independent, that you can do anything you want. No, don't forget. You have a boss. You have a boss. You have a big boss. It's me. And I give you an order. Do this. Don't eat from that tree. Hashem, he wanted to show Adam that he has to obey the orders of Hashem. Hashem, he gives us mitzvot to remember that we have to obey him. We have to listen to him. We are his subject. And we cannot do what we want. But because there was no Yitzhara at that time, so Hashem gave him only one mitzvah. He didn't need to give him too many mitzvot. There was no Yitzhara. Maybe Hashem, he was going to give him some kind of Torah that I don't know what Torah. But there was no Yitzhara. I don't know. what kind of Torah they learn in Olam Haba, the Tzaddikim. I don't know. It's the same Torah, but they have, there is no food. So there is no brachot. There no how to do shchita. You understand? There, the notion of the Torah up there, it's something else. Because the Torah, you adopt it where you live. And this word, we adopt the Torah according to the word where we live. But up there, it's not a word of food, a word of nida, a word of so the Torah there, it's something else. It's not the time now to speak about that. Now we have to speak only what it concerns us. Why Hashem gives one mitzvah to Adam? To learn to obey him and to be batel, hanava, humble, to execute, to obey what Hashem tells him. And Hashem, he told Adam, look, when I create the world, I contract myself. Can you imagine Hashem? He wanted that the world will learn from him something. Before Hashem created the world, he created already the Torah. Listen to me, Hashem created the neshama. And Hashem created the teshuvah. That if you do avera, you can do teshuvah. Why Hashem created teshuvah before he created the world? You know why? So, because when you do a sin, you make the world in danger. So Hashem, he already created a response, a tikkun, a reparation, teshuvah. Teshuvah. And Hashem created the neshama. And Hashem created the Torah. Before Hashem, he did the tzimtzum. Before all this, Hashem he decided, because to respect Torah, Torah is orders, you understand? Torah is orders. And to respect Torah, you have to be humble. From who you learn to be humble? From Hashem. Hashem, he was the first one to be the example for the noblest to be humble. What was his humble? That he contracts himself. It's like, for the man, for the world, I will contract myself and decide. It's like you come and I push myself that you can pass. Just imagine there is a king in front of you. And the king is, you are walking toward the king. Who will stop? Who will pass first? You or the king? The king. Just imagine the king, he make himself on one side till he contract himself near the wall so that you can pass. So how you call that king? Humble. Understand? So that's what Hashem did. The contraction that Hashem did, that to show you how much humble he was. I never saw that no book. That was because of you. I was thinking that was my answer. This is I thought too much about it, and this is the only reason I thought. Now you understand why Moshe Rabbeinu, he could resist in the Shamayim without being burned. You know why? Because he was Anav. Because he learned from Hashem Anava. What Hashem did, he was humble. He created the contraction. Hashem could create the word inside him and maintain the word. But Hashem said, no, that's not the way. I want to show them that if they want to have success in life, to their own creation, what it is, the own creation of every one of us, to be anav, to be humble. You know, one day I was by a big rabbi, Admor Mikotsk. He was It was a yes, Kotzrebe. No. He's one of his son. He passed away. He was in Tel Aviv, and I want to see him. I think about 40 years ago, or 45 years ago. He told me that in the Chassidut, it said, why Eretz Israel, Hashem, in the Torah, it said that Eretz Israel, the origin name of Eretz Israel, it's Canaan, the land of Canaan. Why the land of Canaan? Why we call Israel the land of Canaan? Why? And Canaan was a slave. Why Canaan? The holy place of the world, it's Eretz Israel. Why you call it the land of a slave? Canaan. So he said, Canaan, what the meaning of Canaan? Canaan, that means Hachna'a. What it is Hachna'a? Hachna'a is to be humble. That means, if you want to get Eretz Israel, if you want to have the zechut to live in Eretz Israel, you must know that Eretz Israel is the place of Hashem. You have to be humble to live there. But my question is that it doesn't answer the question, why the name of Eretz Israel, of Canaan, we name it Canaan? Because Canaan was a slave. You know what it is, a slave?
Yes.
A slave, that means has a boss. That means a slave, he cannot do nothing without the permission of his boss. This is Eretz Canaan. Canaan, you want, and Canaan, if from the word, I'm nothing. A slave, he is nothing. A slave, his boss, he can wake him up anytime he wants. And he should obey his boss. Hashem, he wants that anyone that he wants to live in Eretz Israel, he should consider himself like Canaan, a slave. A slave is nothing. Because whatever the boss tells him to do, he will do it. Now we understand, more or less, because I can speak hours about that. Hours. I wrote a lot of pages in 3 hours. I can talk a lot. That's why Moshe Rabbeinu, we say in Shabbat, Yismach Moshe b'matenat chilko, ki eved ne'eman karata lo. What is the joy of Moshe Rabbeinu? Because Hashem called him, you are my slave. People hate this title. Would you like that people will call you, you're a slave? No, because a slave means a lot of bad things, a slave. But to be a slave of Hashem, would you like?
Yeah.
Yes, everyone. Yes, but if you want to be the slave of Hashem, you must do like him, contraction. Cancel yourself. Obey Hashem. So you are the slave of Hashem. All the rabbis in Morocco, when they used to sign their name, they used to sign Eved Hashem, the slave of Hashem, Haim Pinto. Always, Eved Hashem, the slave. I have a lot of letters from my grandparents. When they signed their letters, Eved Hashem, the slave of Hashem. That's me, cancel yourself. Why you have to cancel yourself? Because Hashem, he canceled himself when he created the world. He created the contraction for your kavod. So Hashem, he did that. You don't do it. Now, and I would like to finish with this. Hashem, he finished the world, the creation of the world, just before Shabbos. Once, if the last creation that Hashem did, it was Adam. it was Adam. Adam was the last. After Adam, Hashem did not create nothing. But because Adam Arishon, he did the sin, and because Adam Arishon, he ate it from the tree that Hashem told him not to eat, and that proved that he was a Baal Gava, that instead of obey Hashem, he did not obey Hashem. That means that he was snob. If I tell you, hey Andy, do that, and you don't do it, that means that you disobey me. That means that there is no bitul, there is no tzimtzum, there is no achna'ah from you. So, when Hashem saw that, quick, of course, he punished him, but in that time, Shabbos was going to come. Quick, Hashem created 10 things before Shabbat. You have to see the Pirkei Avot, and you will see the 10 things that Hashem created just a second before Shabbat. We don't know exactly what time, but we say Ben Hashmashot. That means just before Shabbat. No one knows what it is just before Shabbat. Only Hashem that he knows the time, the timing, and he knows. Only Hashem knows exactly when, what it is before Shabbat. We don't know. But once he finished the 10 things, it was already Shabbos. Why Hashem created those 10 things after the sin of Adam Arishon? Because those 10 things that Hashem created, if Adam will not do the sin, we did not need those 10 things. But because Adam he did the sin, so those 10 things we need them. Like the baston of Moshe Rabbeinu. And the baston of Moshe Rabbeinu, with that Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu did the 10 plagues in Egypt. But if Adam he would not do the sin, we don't need that baston. We don't need it because there will be no Egypt, there will be no slaves. Again, Hashem he created Pe'aton. You know, the donkey that he talked to Bil'am. You never, because if Adam would not do the sin, so there be no Bil'am to curse the Jews.
The sin was on Shabbat or the day before?
The sin was before Shabbat. Before Shabbat.
The 12 hours.
Before Shabbat. And a lot of things happened that day. Adam, he was created, then he gave the names to all the animals, and he gave the name to Hashem, and then he did something that he should not do. He went with his wife. He should wait till Shabbos come. Because if Shabbat was come, he will get the Or Mekif. He will get a light that it will protect him. So the Satan will not see him. But he did not wait. He went with his wife, during the day. And the Nahash, the Satan, he saw that. And because he saw that, so he pushed them to do Avera. But Hashem wanted to give him a gift to Adam Rishon. What gift? Or Mekif. That was the gift. But because Or Mekif, that means a special light that protects Adam, a spiritual light. And because Adam, that was the gift of Shabbos. Like on Shabbos, we bring to our wife, a bouquet de fleurs. We bring chocolate to our wife for the children, a present. And Hashem wanted to give a present to Adam Rishon, Erev Shabbos. But Adam Rishon, unfortunately, he did not deserve. He did what he did. It was a gava. Instead of learning from Hashem, contraction, he did not learn that from Hashem, and he did what he did, so he lost. And, of course, the same day, Cain and Hevel were born. That day, a lot of things happened. But Hashem, he punished Adam and Hava. And then, you know the story. The story finished, that Shabbos came. So before Shabbos, Hashem created those things because the world needed. And he created the shed. Shed is the devil. The envy is the devil. We don't see the devil. You know, diable. You know what this is, diable? Diable, Shidim. Shidim, it's you know, those creatures that you don't see them. So, Shidim, they see you but you don't see them. How you call them? Diable, les diables. Devil, voilà. And they look like you, like me, but Hashem did not finish the creature. And I saw in some books why Hashem did not finish the creation. So they said, the Torah want to teach you, because Shabbat came, Hashem stopped. Even Hashem, he respects Shabbat. So, more or less, I answer you the two questions. When the world, the symptom started, or it started in the moment that Hashem wanted to create the world, started, or because we don't know the time, the limit of the time. So, when Hashem decided, I don't know how to take him. First. Second, Hashem, he finished the creation of the world before Shabbat. And I think he told me another question, if I remember, is another question he told me, when Adam Rishon, he drank the wine. When the wine was Hava who gave him. Because Hashem, he said to Adam, don't eat grapes. So what Hava did, she did not give him the grapes, she did juice. She pressed the grapes and she told him to drink. She told him, Hashem said, don't eat the grapes, but the juice of the grapes you can eat, you can drink. And that was on Friday. So that's why on Friday night we do the Kiddush. To repair the juice, the grape of juice that Adam and Hava drink. Now the question is, why Hashem, he did not forbidden the grape of the Jews? Because that was the reason why Adam was punished. Why Hashem did not, like we are not allowed to eat pork. Why Hashem did not forbidden that we should not drink the wine? You understand? Why? Because of the wine, there is all these problems. So why? The answer is because when Hashem he told Adam not to eat from the grapes, it was only for that day. After it's Shabbat, and when Shabbat comes, everything is permitted. You understand? That's it. Hashem will give you only for 1 hour, for a few hours. Don't eat grapes. Only till Shabbat come. And when Shabbat come, you can drink. You can do whatever you want to do. It was there, even the tree of life. After Shabbat, if Shabbat comes, you can eat from the tree of life. Because anyway, if you will not do the Avera, you will be living all the time. Only because he did the sin, Hashem, he threw him out from the Gan Eden, because if he eats from the tree of life, he will live forever. So you understand, this is because once he will get the Or Mekif, that's it. That's it. He will be living all life, everything will be permitted. That's why we drink wine Erev Shabbat to remember, why Adam did not wait till Erev Shabbat, and he will drink the wine, and he will not do the Avera, he will drink the wine, and we will be free from the Yetzer Hara. So, understand, that's why we drink the wine. The wine that we drink on Shabbat, that reminds you the sin that Adam Rishon did. So what it is the reparation of the sin? Study Torah on Shabbat. Study Torah during the week. So, voilà. I wish you bracha v'atzlacha, and God bless you. You have a question?
Yes, if Adam was so spiritually elevated, how did he went with Chava and not went to me? It's like with the wine.
Yes, that was something that we do.
And you say the wine, the wine
It will be permitted.
The wine he wasn't supposed to drink, but on Shabbat yes. And how about with the pork, like you said, everything? We would be able to eat everything.
Unfortunately, this is another show.
No.
It's a question that.
No, I know.
It's but it's not. This is.
No problem. Next time.
Next time, because. But this is the Avera that he did. But I mean, one mitzvah. Hashem gave him only one mitzvah. I mean, he did not give him two mitzvot. One. Because of him, we have today thousands of mitzvot to do. And Adam Rishon, Hashem gave him one. What does mitzvah? An order. One mitzvah for a few hours. But one thing I have to tell you, that Hashem, it did not forbidden him to have not to have relationship with his wife before Shabbat. It's logic. Adam, you cannot do that during the day in front of everybody. Why till the light come? Why till the night? I mean, it's logical, you understand? It's logic. Hashem, he only forbidden him not to eat from that grape of raisin. But he did not tell him, don't go with your wife. No. He did not tell him that. So he thought it's permitted. But Adam should understand, logical, that Hashem is going to give him Shabbat. And on Shabbat, Hashem is going to give him Or Mekif as a present. What that Or Mekif? To protect him. You should understand that it's not nice to do that in front of Hashem, in front of God, in the street, like that, in the field. So he lost. Unfortunately, because he went with his wife during the day, you understand? That's why the Nahash, he had the fuerza to push Hava to eat the grapes. Eating the grapes was after the relationship, not before.
One last question. You have Or Makif that is surrounding, and how do you call that transcends? I don't remember the name.
I want to tell you something. You know the talit that you wear, it's Or Mekif. That's why you are not allowed to take the talit with the shirt. With the shirt. You have the shirt, and you have the talit under the shirt, yes? Or sometimes the talit is Or Mekif. Yes. That we call it Or Pnimi. It's Or Mekif, the talit katan. Or talit gadol. When you put the talit gadol on you, why we put the talit? Because the talit, we consider the talit as Or Mekif. Before you pray to Hashem, you cover yourself with Or Mekif. It's a beged, it's a clothes of Mekif, Or Mekif.
But there's two types of lights. You have Or Mekif that is surrounding, and you have the other one that...
Yeah, you have the Or Mekif, the Or Hitzuni, the Or Pnimi. And that, and the more you do mitzvot, You have other auras, other lights that they protect you. But Shabbat, it's like on Shabbat. We have Neshama Yetera. We have an extra soul, extra Neshama on Shabbat. This is the present that Hashem gives us every Shabbos. Every Shabbos Hashem will give you a present, extra Neshama. Can you imagine? This is a Or Mikif. You can imagine Adam Rishon, what kind of present he was supposed to receive on Shabbat. Wow. That is why it's another shiur. When you ask me, even telephone, I will tell you. Okay?